Welcome back to Factory Sealed. It is November 26, 2017. My name's Eric Peters, and joining me today, Mr. Michael Tyson.
I'm back!
Oh, God.
How are you?
Oh, I'm good. That's Mr. Daniel Het Curtis.
I'm still here.
How are you?
Good. Good.
Shit.
Good. Yeah,
Shit.
Dan's having a rough day.
I know. I just want to cry.
I think we have somebody who's almost as bad with Ethernet cables as you, Mike.
Have you bricked a laptop yet?
I didn't brick my laptop. It just doesn't work.
You're getting there, though. It's just one step away.
See, what happened with Mike was, in reality, he actually plugged in the Ethernet cable and it didn't work. So he just took a mallet to his laptop.
Just broke it over his knee.
Hazel, it's not working.
Well,
Mike comes in holding two halves of a laptop.
There's two pieces here.
Well, I've got two laptops now.
You mean this isn't like the Wii U? This screen doesn't work away from the keyboard.
Got my that there technology mixed up.
The cracking sound should have given it away.
Yeah, maybe. What a shambles, though, Dan. Trying to set up for this show, and you were just
God.
fiddling around with your Ethernet cable. And then, like, moments later, you were like, oh, I need to go downstairs, because Crystal might be watching something on Sky, and it's going to ruin the connection. And then it sounds like you climb out of some sort of climbing apparatus away from your computer, and then disappear downstairs.
I have a very precise setup in my games room now.
I imagine Dan's got one of those swing chairs hanging from his ceiling that he straps himself into.
Like a sex swing.
Yeah, like a sex swing.
Yeah, I do.
So then he goes abseiling down the house for a few moments. Comes back and claims he hit his head on a low ceiling in a corner.
Yes, I did.
What were you doing in the corner?
Well, to get out from where I'm sitting, it's very hard to describe. So I've got my games room. I've got a sofa in front of my TV, right? So I'm sitting on the sofa. I'm sitting sideways. I'm lying down on the sofa. I've got my microphone stand next to me. I've got all my cables connected, so I have to navigate around the microphone stand, which comes into close proximity to the low triangular ceiling. And because I was distracted trying to take my headphones off, I just blundered into it without noticing.
Wait, you're lying down for the show?
Well, yes, sort of.
Oh, man, that's luxury right there.
Good Lord. No wonder you fall asleep half the time.
That's just because you're very dull, my friend.
I mean, I walked into that one. Well, no, the real point here...
The low ceiling in my house has got me many a time, believe me. I usually definitely avoid it now, but...
You should put some of that reflective tape up there, just like, or out on sidewalks, they'll spray paint broken edges bright yellow or something so that people can see them.
To be honest, mate, I might just pad all my walls so it's like it's a mental asylum.
Or
it's safe.
Just do yourself a favor and get a helmet. Just right as you walk in, you trade your trench coat and hat for a helmet. Gretchen, I'm home!
Christmas Day. A new house helmet, how did you know?
This one's got a headlight on it.
So, guys, finally the explanation of how stupid I am is because I whacked my head off the low ceiling in my house.
What about before you moved there?
Oh!
That was just being dropped on my head too much as a child, I think.
Well, the real cause of all this is for, 3 years now? I've been hounding Dan to hardwire his internet connection. Yep. So he finally saves up $7 and buys a cable.
Pounds, not dollars.
Oh, God. Okay, so like $5.50.
No, it's the other way around, Derek.
Okay, so like $9. The point is, not a lot of money.
He hasn't visited this country or anything. You'd think he'd know.
He was calling everything dollars while he was over here.
I know he was. And then when he got back, he started saying pounds. I was like, what's going on?
I'm broken. The point is,
he's just walking into shops going, how many dollary dues is this?
Can I pay you in eagle feathers? Don't distract me from the point here, Dan. It took you 3 years to save up enough money to buy an Ethernet cable. And then it
didn't actually. I just didn't buy one to get on your tits.
Well, maybe if you stop buying all those games.
Oh, I'm sorry for wanting to enjoy myself.
Yeah, you could have
by playing games for a video game podcast. I do apologize.
Oh yeah, because all that time we've spoken about Persona 5 on the show.
Yeah, I keep trying, but everybody keeps shitting on it from afar.
Don't distract me from the point here, Dan. Because then he sends me a question this morning.
Point?
Yeah, it's somewhere here. And I read this to Mike to make sure I wasn't interpreting it wrong. Dan sends me this question. How do you connect to an Ethernet connection over Wi-Fi?
That's not what I meant. I was having a bad day.
Duh.
How do I hardwire over wireless? I get what you mean now after rereading it. Like, how do you prioritize Ethernet over Wi-Fi?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Well, it's not what I read.
That's fine. You're an idiot. We could expect these things.
Coming from the man who has hit his head on a low ceiling in a corner while falling over his couch.
Dude, when you eventually come to stay here, I'm going to put you right under this low ceiling and you'll whack your head off it every morning.
No, because I will look to make sure that where I am about to go is clear.
No, I don't do that.
Oh.
I just go for it. Busy roads, straight over there.
Got to dodge the traffic. Can't worry about the walls.
Well, when you have a road through your house for a long time, you know you've got to do it.
You just go and smell and you know what you can hear.
Just go and smell?
Does that smell like a car coming towards me?
What does het smell like?
Manure most days.
Old cabbage.
No, manure, like actual horse shit.
Explain to me why again. The 1940s.
Explain to me why again you moved here.
Because it's nice. It's quiet. It's peaceful.
Sounds lovely.
It is lovely.
I'm going to take a Google Maps tour of Het right now. I see one intersection.
Yep, that's it for you.
I wonder if they even have the ability for me to draw. Oh, they do.
To be fair, Eric, if you're the kind of person that judges a place by how many intersections it has, what does that say about you?
What do you mean?
Is it tit?
Hello?
What do you mean?
Explain yourself, Michael.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Well, you're judging Het by how many intersections it has.
Yeah.
How can you judge a place by how many intersections it has?
Oh, I'm just saying it's got one intersection, and typically where I come from, them cities with one intersection, them real small town folk there.
We are very
You've spoken to Dan, right?
I'm trying to decide. I'm in the middle of the one intersection here. Oh, I think I found the town hall.
Bugger right off.
I did find the town hall. It looks like an old air raid shelter. Two swings that look like they're straight from Chernobyl.
I've told you this before.
I'm trying to find Dan's one house.
You really don't listen.
Is Dan on Google Maps? You go on there. You just go on the corner, like waving towards the Google car.
I'm at the corner of Lehman's and Unnamed Road.
No, you're nowhere near.
What? How could I be nowhere near? There are literally like 6 houses and half of 4 people here.
No, there isn't.
Dan, Het is... You could fit it on a postage stamp.
Yes, it's a tiny village. I didn't even know it existed until I moved here, so...
Eric, have you accidentally typed in Hoth?
Ah, I did.
Does it look snowy?
I'm on a different planet. Yes, large robots. And a lot of people stuck inside what looked to be wildebeest bellies.
When the Empire sent the Google AT-AT.
Yeah.
Good. Take photos.
Oh, man. I gotta find... Dan, how do people even drive on this? The roads look like sidewalks.
Because cars work on them.
There's geese in the middle of the road!
Oh, my God!
This place looks magical.
It's lovely.
It's certainly cloudy.
Yeah, that's England. Standard weather.
I'm getting depressed just looking at it.
Yeah, don't forget, Eric, when you came here, you were really lucky with the weather.
Yeah, see, I brought some of that American free weather with.
Yeah.
That's just how
his suitcases were so
I've
packed.
just never been a city person. I'm just not.
You don't say.
Was that not apparent from London?
I'm not typically a city person either, but having lived in Phoenix for as long as I have, I can't picture myself moving out of a big city.
Oh, God, guys. Actually, yesterday, right, I went to Newcastle to do some Christmas shopping, and that combined with Black Friday just meant everybody and their mother was out Christmas shopping.
Did you see Dave the Rave?
No, that's Sunderland.
No.
But honestly, I wanted to kill someone because, oh my God, it was horrible.
Literally all 45 people were out.
But the highlight of it was when I sent you yesterday. I saw a small child in a court which had little pictures of cars on it, and next to the cars was just the text, beep, beep.
Babe, babe.
Babe, babe. I read it. I was looking down at his coat and I went, oh, God. I was stood behind this kid for a good 5 minutes because we were queuing to see the Christmas window at Phoenix department store. And I was just going, oh, God. Every time I see it, beep, beep.
Wait. Run that by me again. You were doing what to see what?
I was queuing.
Yeah.
Which is like a long line.
Standing in line waiting.
Like to do.
I get it.
He's avoiding going back to the subject here.
And we were going to the department store, which is called Phoenix, to see the Christmas window, which they do every year.
So you stood in line to stare at a window?
Yes, everybody does this.
Ridiculously British thing I've ever heard.
Oh, God. Even I think that's dumb.
Well, people of the Northeast do it every year. So.
Krista,
Do you
what
not
should we
have
do
anything
today?
else
I don't
to
know.
do?
I'm going to go look at a window. Okay, let's go stand in line.
No, see, Mike, quite a few people like Christmas. So we like to see Christmassy things.
Fuck off.
How do you spell Phoenix?
FEN
Yeah.
WICKS.
Fenwicks.
Fenwicks, but it's pronounced Phoenix.
Well, there's a W in there, no N. Oh, there is an N.
I know. I'm not Mr. Fenwick. I didn't make the store.
Phoenix. I got to see what this window looks like.
Yeah.
No, you have to queue up for that. There's even an internet queue.
God, you are 437th in line. Wait, so Dan, why couldn't people just walk by this on a sidewalk?
Because you underestimate how many people actually stood in front of it. You can't actually see past them.
Well, that's where they just need somebody with a broom, like pushing people along.
But we're too polite for that.
Hey, he's right. It is pronounced Phoenix.
How long did you stand in line to see a window?
That was only about 5 minutes.
And how long did you look at it for?
About 5 minutes.
What?
I mean, it's a good trade-off. My God, here's a picture of people queuing to see the window.
Can you describe the window to us?
Look at this. Look at this shot. Look at this shot, right? That is what it's like when it's at its busiest.
What? How many people are there?
Yeah, it's a
At
big
least 12.
I like that little security lady in the middle who's clearly just like, well, doing nothing here.
Hope nothing happens. Guy can't do shit.
There is a Greg's across the way. She's probably just going through the crowd to get to Greg's.
Craig's?
And I need me that sausage roll.
Christ, there's even guardrails for people to queue round.
Yeah.
You guys need a hobby.
My God.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks that is just ridiculous.
I think that's ridiculous, but I am the person who fucking hates Christmas. So.
He is.
I don't hate Christmas.
Although, for my birthday, Hazel, I think it was supposed to be a joke, has bought me a Legend of Zelda Christmas jumper. Now, I am normally the first person to want to yell Christmas jumper wanker towards any wankers I see wearing Christmas jumpers. But you know what? I don't hate it.
Target has started selling
What you're saying is you are now a Christmas jumper wanker.
Well, marginally.
Target has started selling some video game jumpers too.
Christmas jumper.
Say again, Eric?
Target has started selling some like Mario Christmas sweaters and stuff like that. They're actually not terrible.
I've still got my Sonic one from last year, which is excellent.
Aw. So nice.
So nice, the hedge pig Christmas jumper.
So nice.
Oh,
Christmas.
we need to get that one that Tom made and put that on a Christmas jumper and flog it. New Patreon reward.
No.
Can any of us knit?
We had someone who could knit, but don't.
But then she got turned into Mike, so...
Mike, did you retain your knitting abilities?
I'm afraid not.
Oh, man. Okay, so Black Friday. That's not a thing over there for you guys, is it? Or is it starting?
This year, but not to the same degree.
This year they've been trying to make it a thing again, like big style.
Yeah.
Which is funny, because last year they were like, nah, we're not bothering.
No. And this year, again, it's everywhere.
It seems like it's starting to not die down, but the intensity level of it here in the States is starting to wane. It's still really popular day to go shopping, but even as I don't know,
I think
4
that's
years
online,
ago,
though, isn't it? I mean,
well, what's happening now is stores are starting to do their Black Friday sales like a week in advance,
and they do it over the weekend as well, don't they? Rather than just the one day.
Yeah, and a lot of stores now are opening up at like 5 PM on Thanksgiving, so a lot of the lines are gone, and the chaos is over by Friday. So it's actually more like Black Thursday now.
There was a shot on the news the other night when Black Friday kicked off, and Curry's PC World, who are like a big electronics retailer over here, opened up one of their stores at midnight, and just one guy came.
Got some deodorant.
Proceeded to look round and left.
It's the most English thing ever.
That's what
everybody was too busy queuing for Fennec's window.
Yeah, it wasn't too crazy this year. It was just I don't know, kind of normal. We were talking to the cashiers too, and they're like, "Yeah, it doesn't really seem that wild. It just seems like a busy weekday."
It's strange though, because like Dan said, they're trying to make it a big thing over here again, and you literally can't go anywhere, whether that's out on the street, out near the shops, or online, without Black Friday being just like completely jizzed in your face. Like, Black Friday, Black Friday, Black Friday, Black Friday, Black Friday, Black Friday, everywhere.
It's just a Black Friday bukkake.
Yeah. But no, just everywhere. It's still just...
Why must we always go down this path? Why?
It's a strong attraction.
Did you guys get
Black
anything?
Friday goose?
I did. I went out. It's kind of a tradition now. My mom and I go Black Friday shopping after the Thanksgiving dinner. Everybody else is all passed out, and we headed out to Best Buy, Target, and then some clothing stores. But
get your turkey sweat on all the.
Oh yeah, I had my meat sweats
stuff
going. Oh. Yeah, I just went out and got a whole bunch of PS4 games.
Anything good?
Oh, yeah. So
more importantly, Mike, it doesn't matter because you'll never open them. So.
Yeah.
Well, so I sent you guys a message last night. After this weekend's purchase, my PS4 collection now stands at 21.7% unopened.
I like how you've worked out the percentage.
Well, I have, I think I'm at 46 games and 10 are still sealed.
It's so depressing. I don't know how many I've got, but none of them are not unopened.
Dan, would you like to hear what I bought?
I know what you bought. You told me.
Oh. I bought one of them in honor of you.
Is it South Park: The Fractured Butthole?
Yes, I was thinking about your butthole.
Excellent.
No, I wasn't planning on getting it because I didn't think there'd be any left, and I saw Persona 5 sitting longingly at the bottom of a bin where nobody else wanted it. I'm like, you know what?
These people are idiots.
Yeah, I'll put this one next to Mass Effect.
Oh God, Mass Effect isn't that good, to be honest.
Then why did I buy it?
I don't know.
You're like, you're gonna get this. It's $20. Get it. So I bought it.
Well, it's worth $20.
Well, I ended up getting Doom.
Destiny Poo, on the other hand, it was not worth the price of it.
Oh, yeah. Well, you just don't have any friends to play it with.
I don't want to.
I don't want
I like to play a game solo.
Oh. Get some of the old ladies in Het to pick it up with you.
Destiny 2 parties over the village hall.
Yeah, you never know. It might be a new thing.
I don't think so.
That's why
Plus,
it's so quiet.
I'd rather play an
Destiny.
actual good game.
Well, I ended up picking up Doom. for $15. Uncharted Nathan Drake Collection, Persona 5.
I'm surprised you don't have Uncharted Nathan Drake Collection already.
I mean, I have them all on PS3.
Yeah, me too, but I still got that.
Yeah. Last Guardian was only $20. I may as well.
That's a really good game as well.
Pick that up. I grabbed Titanfall 2 for $15.
That's a very good game as well.
I decided to pull the trigger on Resident Evil 7.
I haven't played that.
Simply because of how unique it is and the new spin it takes on the genre. And
did you play the demo, Eric?
I did. I really liked it.
Did you keep revisiting it when they did all the updates?
No.
Like, did you go up into the attic and into the basement and everything like that you couldn't access on the first release of it?
No.
So it was really, really interesting. Basically, they updated it a few more times and just added more and more to it. So you actually ended up going down to the basement and you actually ended up with a gun and encountering a monster. And there was several different endings to it.
Huh.
And if you got the best ending of it, I ended up using a guide because the puzzle was really fucking ridiculous. But you end up getting a coin for the main game, which I think you can spend on upgrading something or other. I don't know. I haven't played the main game yet. But it was really interesting how they kept updating the demo.
Yeah, they did that with... Did they do that with PT?
No, PT
that was just one release. And then it had the big puzzle, which people figured out in 3 hours.
And then the one I'm the most excited about, I got the BioShock collection.
I'm yet to play a BioShock. I've been meaning to get that collection.
I think
never played a game. Never.
I think the first BioShock is over 10 years old, so that one's fair game.
Is it?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love BioShock.
The first one's really good. I don't think I've ever properly finished 2, and then
BioShock Infinite literally melted my brain.
But you have to have played and appreciated BioShock 1 in order for the brain melting of Infinite to happen.
Yeah, it's one of the craziest endings to a game ever.
Ideally, you have to let approximately 8 to 9 years pass between the time you play them, so that you can build up that nostalgia for the first one.
I wonder if they'll do another.
It might be a while then for me to play the third one.
Yeah.
See, with Black Friday and stuff, the only deal I was tempted by was PlayStation VR for £250 because that is a ridiculously good deal.
Well, they had a VR bundle that came with Gran Turismo, but then it didn't come with the PlayStation Move controllers. I'm like, that's another $100 I got to spend. So
I've got one of them already. So
you need 2.
Yeah, I know you can play DualShock 4 sometimes.
Well, yeah, but for most of the VR games.
There was a bundle over here which came with the VR headset and Skyrim VR, which sounded fun because that's just come out. I think we should talk about that because I read an interesting review of it the other day. It said it's the best and the worst way to play it. It's best for immersion, but because of the limitations it needs for VR, everything's a bit naff. So,
well, like we talked about before, the limitation of the PSVR, where as soon as you turn around, it loses motion control because it can't track behind you. I think that would be the biggest detractor. Plus, the fact that you're in this first-person headset and you need to be walking around. You pretty much have to use the controller.
Yeah, it needs to be 90 frames per second to be on PSVR, so all the textures are like so low.
It depends on your demographic, though. I've got a friend who surprised me by splashing out on the PSVR over the Black Friday event, and he's not a massive player of games at all, and he's playing Skyrim, and he absolutely loves it. Absolutely loves it.
I did damn near pull the trigger on Skyrim for Switch over the weekend, and then I looked at my pile of 7 games and went, "Ugh, I've got at least 1,000 hours of gameplay here."
So I'll see Skyrim on my shelf routinely and think I could replay that, and then I think I don't want to.
Oh, see, I think I look at all of like Elder Scrolls 3, Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim. I really want to play that, but I shouldn't.
Yeah, I can't do it. I got the special edition for PS4 a couple of years back, and I think I did an hour, and then I was like, I can't do this. It's too much of a time sink all over again.
It is, especially when there's such, there's other new experiences to have. I went through a little stage during the PS3 era a few years ago, where I just kept replaying old games, and I realised I wasn't doing anything new, and I missed out on a lot of stuff because I didn't get around to playing it, because I was fucking replaying Snake Eater, for example.
I remember one of those games. It's just like legendary, though. It's like when it came out, the hype was unreal, and delivered.
You and I were playing that alongside each other when it came out, and just it was mind blowing when it first came out. I think the reason
Fallout 4 was so disappointing, I really didn't like that very much.
Typically, I found myself replaying games when I was younger because I couldn't afford to buy newer games. And now that I can, it's like, well, do I really want to spend what little free time I have replaying something I've already experienced?
Yeah, I mean, I really want to play The Last of Us again before the second one comes out, but I'm just like, I've played it.
See, and I've told myself I'm not going to ever replay the first Last of Us game simply because it was just that good, and I don't want to ruin that experience.
But I think I actually did replay The Last of Us, and I played it on the highest difficulty setting, which makes it really tense. And because it takes away that ability he has to see through walls and things like that, and my God, it's an entirely different experience.
God, I can imagine.
It's when there's bits where the clickers are there and things like that. Oh my God, and you've got to sneak around and you've just got to hope that they're not there. It's seriously something else.
I don't think I'd be able to complete it on that difficulty at all.
I didn't. I got about halfway through and I was like, this is too hard. But still, I felt the difference and I still very much enjoyed it.
Speaking of difficulty, I downloaded it. As you guys know, I've been plowing hours into Breath of the Wild. I'm still not finished, and they have the Trial of the Sword DLC because I bought the season pass for it, and I've been trying to have a go at doing it. And for those of you that don't know what that is, basically there's a trial you can go on to completely power up the Master Sword, so it's always does a damage of 60 rather than just because apparently it does it towards the end when you face Ganon. I didn't know that, but anyway. And you go in there, no armor, none of your items, no weapons, nothing. Basically, all you can have from the main game is whatever health and stamina you had before you went in. And it's so hard. So hard. And there's a few checkpoints within it, but there's 43 stages within it, I think. And there's only 3 checkpoints. If you die, you have to go back to the start or to the checkpoint.
Oh, I hate things like that in games.
And I was going to do it, and I had a few goes, and I think I got out 8, maybe 9 rooms in, I kept dying.
Eric, have you ever done... Sorry, Mike. Have you ever done Via Infinitor on Final Fantasy X-2?
No.
It's basically 100 floors, and then you have to get through about 10 floors before you can get to a save point. So you have 9 floors of tough enemies, and then a really difficult boss, and if you die, you're back to the last point.
Yeah, I don't like things like that.
No.
Yeah, it's tough. But that was where the best loot in the game was and stuff, so...
I had a quick gander to see what the rest of the rooms was like and seeing what other enemies were there and what you got along the way. And I've just resigned myself to saying I'm never going to do it. It just sounds so hard.
I would have to keep trying. I would have to.
Yeah, that'd be one of those rabbit holes that once you start it, you just got to finish it.
I've just resigned myself to saying I'm never going to do it.
Oh, man. Speaking of rabbit hole,
Segway.
Let me tell you about Stardew Valley.
Oh, God.
Oh, I think I'm 30.
Oh, Eric, before you start, a big thank you from Hazel. She didn't realize you could get a horse to ride around. So when you said you were going to get a horse, she was like, I'm going to do that. And she got one. She was like, oh, thank you, Peterson.
Yeah, but it takes forever to save up to get that horse. Because you got to build the stable, and that takes hardwood, which is impossible to farm.
God knows how many hours she's synced into that.
I'm 30 some odd hours into it. I just completed my first year cycle, and I have a devious plan to just completely renovate my farm and just make it a money printing machine. But it's one of those games where I don't know why I enjoy it because it's so repetitive.
I know that's what puts me off.
You wake up, you have 10 minutes to do whatever you need to do in that day. And then you're done. And then you start over. But what's really cool about this versus the Harvest Moon games are it makes it easier to automate things. Like the most meticulous part of the Harvest Moon games is going out and watering your plants. Sure, you could upgrade your watering can, but still it would take up your stamina for the day. And here they've given you a stamina meter, so you know how much stamina you have left. Harvest Moon, it's like, I guess I have an idea of how tired I'm getting. So you'd water all your plants, but then you could hire those fairies, but then you'd have to go through the whole process of befriending all of them and then setting a schedule, and sometimes they'd show up and sometimes they wouldn't. Here you can just craft sprinklers and put them out in your field, so you can just automate all that shit. The thing that I've enjoyed the most is going into the mines. There's actually a little bit of an adventure element to it. You get a sword and you can get different armor and go down into the mines and fight enemies and harvest ore and monster parts and do some alchemy and craft some shit out of it. It's just a wildly addicting game for reasons I have no idea why.
That's what I've seen Hazel doing, going into the mines.
Yeah.
She recently completed is it like 100
120.
120, yeah, she recently did that. And it took her donkeys to do it.
So it's like Harvest Moon crossed with Spelunky.
A little bit, yeah. God, Spelunky was good.
I never got into that.
SteamWorld Dig was really good too.
I got into that.
Which one?
Binding of Isaac. I love it so much.
I
could play that game forever.
I wish I were better at it.
Just keep at it. I die all the time, but sometimes you get lucky.
No, I just die continually over and over because I suck. Hey guys.
Yes.
Tom's not here.
Oh yeah.
Is he not?
No.
I thought Mike was Tom.
No. Tom is off bettering himself at a career fair.
Who needs to better themselves?
Sit in your underpants and play video games.
Why better yourself when you can make yourself into a jelly brain by being here?
Yeah, just whack your head on a wall and call it a day.
I'm feeling a bit woozy, guys.
Oh, God.
Should we get to our games of the week?
The podcast of illusion.
How long have you been sitting on that one?
Since we announced we were playing those two.
Yeah. He's been getting the tone right with Hazel all week. He's been just coming out of wardrobes and stuff and going, the podcast.
just been standing in the mirror. You know, like on films where you see people rehearsing how they're going to talk to a girl. They're going, all right. Just going, podcast of illusion. Podcast of illusion. Nah. Podcast of illusion? Nah, it's not going to work.
You podcast of illusion.
The podcast of illusion.
Hey, it's the podcast of illusion.
Is that your Mickey Mouse impression?
No. That was my Mario crossed with Cousin Nico impression.
Cousin Mario.
Not Cousin Nico, Cousin Roman.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Who recommended these games? Because that's on you to introduce them.
I think it was a combination of me and Dan, if I'm honest.
So, World of Illusion and Castle of Illusions are games for the Mega Drive, which star Mickey Mouse and
Genesis.
The Jenna Drive.
I'm just continuing the Spyro thing from last week. Just saying everything's shit. Passed you by Spyro, one, Eric, didn't it?
No, because you cut out, went robotic. I didn't hear you.
Excellent.
You probably should get an Ethernet cable.
I'll plug it in right now. Plug it into you freaking asshole.
Don't plug it into my asshole. I guarantee you'll get shitty reception.
You make a poo joke.
Woo!
Oh dear.
What have we become?
Podcast of illusion.
As he cuts out midway through.
Wait, he didn't cut out on me.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yep, he did.
Eric's got
he didn't. So what you're saying is all along that Eric's been making this up.
No.
Fine.
Eric's got shitty internet.
It's only 700 megabytes right now. I'm missing 250.
Is Alexa streaming something?
No. But I did set her up to control my entire living room now. So I can
Alexa,
say,
play
Alexa,
the Castle of Illusion.
She's not that smart yet. She can turn my lights on and off.
Which creates illusion.
Ooh. What the hell games are we talking about here?
The Castle of Illusion.
And the world of illusion. I went hoarse then.
Yeah, you did.
Hey, guys.
Tom, is that you?
It sure is.
The gay guys of illusion.
I don't know why Tom is suddenly the old pedophile from Family Guy. Oh, dear. Right. Yeah, so Castle of Illusion.
Starring
World of Illusion.
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse.
So Mega Man isn't in Castle of Illusion, so I didn't play.
Oh, dear.
I remembered.
I was waiting to see how long it would take for you to bring that up.
I don't know if I mentioned it, but I fucking love Mega Man.
Have you changed it so you can call Alexa Mega Man yet?
No, she can only be called Alexa, computer, or
Mega Man, turn on my light.
something else.
Mega Man, turn on Mega Man.
Mega Manception.
Are you done?
I think so. For now.
Well, how do you want to tackle this?
It's a gift that keeps on giving.
What, like Mega Man?
You gotta do the voice, Mike.
Oh, I don't want to be accused of stealing other people's things.
Oh, I stole it off Tom, so it doesn't matter.
All right, okay. Oh, dear. I've said that a lot today.
So after all that shovel of shit, basically we're playing Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusion and World of Illusion this week.
Yeah, 2 games, the price of one, at the length of half a game.
If that.
I think that's being generous.
Is that the illusion? The length?
Oh, yeah.
I was waiting for it. No, right. I think we've shot on a lot of games recently, and I even know the length of these, which we'll get into.
Oh, yeah.
Nope, there we go. I actually enjoyed these. But, yeah, Castle of Illusion. So, released in 1990, is a platform game developed by Strigor. And released for the Sega Gena Drive.
Ah. The Megasys?
I like what you did there.
The Sega Megasys. I like that.
The Megasys.
That sounds like some kind of disease.
Got a bad case of that there Megasys.
I'm afraid to tell you it's Megasys.
It turns my junk pixelated. Sorry.
The junk of illusion.
That's Tom's junk.
The cock and balls of illusion.
Starring Tom Smooth.
That'll be a very different game, I think.
Okay.
So, yeah, it is the first game in Sega's long-running Illusion video game series starring Mickey.
Wait, when it say long-running, do they mean 2 games? Because that's not long-running.
Well, you say that, because I had a look.
Well...
and
there
remakes
don't
Castle
count.
Illusion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. There's Castle of Illusion.
Power of
there is
Illusion.
The Land of Illusion. Sorry, I'll do this properly. There is the Castle of Illusion.
God, this
then
is
there
take
is
a while.
which was also on the Master System and the Game Gear. I think I had the Game Gear version of this when I was a kid, as well as the Mega Drive. There's the Land of Illusion, released for the Master System in 92 and the Game Gear in 93, which I've not played. There was the World of Illusion, as we know. And then there's also the Legend of Illusion on Game Gear.
And there's also the Mega Man of Illusion.
So when they say long running, yeah, over like 3 years. Oh no, Legend of Illusion was 95. Wait, they were releasing Game Gear games in 95?
Mickey Mouse Zelda.
Maybe.
Then they
well, technically, there's a game called Quackshot that falls into this as well.
Yeah, well, I questioned that because there's collections with Castle of Illusion and Quackshot on. But apparently, it was just called the Disney Collection, but I didn't think that was part of the Illusion series.
Well, it's related, I guess, because they bundled it together for the Disney Collection.
Yeah, I guess so. But there was also was it a Wii game called Epic Mickey Power of Illusion, which was supposed to be like a little nod back to the Illusion series as well.
Is Mickey Mania completely separate?
Yes, I believe so.
I love that game.
How about
we should have played that one too?
Epic Mickey. Wasn't that one supposed to be really good as well?
The one I just said on the Wii.
No, the first one was decent, I think. And
3DS. I'm thinking of something else, aren't I?
Epic Mickey, which is the one
that was on the 3DS. I can't remember if that one was meant to be good or not.
Yeah, that was a follow-up.
I didn't even know there was a 3DS one.
Yeah.
And then there was also that remake of it on the PS3, which came out in 2013.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, did you play that?
I played a good chunk of it. Ellie really liked it, so that's when we played.
It was so good. You know that you could change the soundtrack back to the original soundtrack as well, which was cool.
No.
Yeah, it's in the options menu.
Kind of like Wonder Boy.
Back to the original. Wonder Boy.
Of Illuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuuu
It was also on offer. It's currently on offer on the Switch store for Black Friday. If anyone wants to get Wonder Boy 3,
get it.
The Dragon Strap, get it. Which
I wish I was here for that show.
Yeah, you would have heard us praise it quite well, unless you're on Google Play, because I don't think that episode's fixed yet.
Probably not. If you're on Google Play, download it somewhere else, because that shit's broken.
We don't know how to fix it.
Can't be ours.
So anyway, sorry.
Yeah, Castle of Illusion is actually the first video game that I ever played.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it was probably my second. I think Sonic the Hedgehog was my first, and then this was second because we owned this as a kid when I was a kid.
I actually have a photo at my mum's of me and my dad playing on the Mega Drive at Christmas, playing Castle of Illusion.
His nan on the floor in the back.
Yeah, your grandma stuck in the tree.
Have I fallen over? It's getting to that time of year again, guys.
Just keep a camera on in case. Just keep feeding her gin.
Oh, God, she'd be absolutely terrible on gin. She has one glass of wine and she's sloshed.
The elixir of illusion! Dear. Anyway, so this game follows Mickey Mouse on a quest to save his Trouble and Strife Minnie. Are they married? I mean, they've both got the surname Mouse.
I think in that universe, they all just take their species as their last name. So you would be like Mike Human and Dan Human and Eric Human.
Debatable.
Wait, I thought it was
Eric,
Mike Meat Popsicle.
Eric Idiot.
That's not a species.
Yeah, he follows. He basically has to save Minnie from Miserable, the evil witch.
With a name like that, she didn't have much of a chance, did she?
Nah, not really. But the thing I find funny about, have you guys seen the front cover of this?
Yeah.
The picture of the witch that they use in the moon is such like a stock pit silhouette of a witch. It looks nothing like Miserable whatsoever.
I just, reading the name Miserable, it's clearly just miserable.
Yes.
Yes,
but it is.
That's the pun, Eric.
Well, I didn't get it till just now. Shut up, Dan.
You see how things can work on different levels, right?
It's like the words are an illusion. I can't help but kind of look off into the distance every time I do that.
Do you just throw glitter up every time you do it, or drop a smoke bomb? Hazel comes out. Mike, you know that nobody can see you.
That's the illusion.
Oh. Shit, this is getting deep.
Yeah, this is too deep for me. Pun? I'm confused now.
Like the Miserable pun. Just goes too deep.
It's like Banjo 3 all over again.
Banjo 2E?
I can't believe you didn't get that.
Oh, you idiot.
Tom didn't get it either.
I know you're both idiots.
Mike, I don't think you got it. You're just jumping on the bandwagon.
No, I definitely got it.
Nope. Prove it.
Definitely. Oh, all right. Jump in my time machine and
listen
and come back to the point when I first listened to that show, and I went, "Oh, for God's sake!"
Yeah,
I think that's what people say most of the time when they listen to the show.
We like to make people feel real good about themselves.
Scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Speaking of feeling good about themselves.
Segway.
Right. Ms. Rebel's thing is she steals Minnie Mouse because she wants to make herself beautiful and make Minnie Mouse ugly. So Mickey Mouse is going to save her because he's worried that Minnie Mouse will end up ugly.
Oh, God.
Well, we'd all do that for our girlfriends, wouldn't we?
He is just shallow.
I know. How fucking shallow is this quest? I'm going to face all these enemies. And that's not what Mickey Mouse sounds like. But anyway, I'm going to face all these enemies so she doesn't turn up ugly. So I can still look at her while I'm giving it to her. Ha-ha!
Oh, God. So many things want to go down those roads. Just, I'm not.
Hang on. When I wasn't here on the last show,
R-rated.
When I wasn't here last week,
game in the world.
Quote, Eric. Quote, Mike would have followed me down that rabbit hole. Why can't you follow me? Also, by the way, right, I miss one show, and I look at my because we didn't have Wi-Fi at the hotel in the room. It was only in certain parts of the resort we got the Wi-Fi, right? On the day that you guys were supposed to be recording the show, I look at WhatsApp. What a fuck up! I missed one show. Like, Tom's just missing. Dan can't tell the time. Eric's there. Like, are you guys there? Are we doing a show, guys?
Yeah, Dan can't possibly figure out. Oh, I'm supposed to be back at 3:00. I guess I'll show up at 5.
Which outright proves that I united this show.
Mike is the glue that keeps this shit show from falling apart.
No.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Mike, I promise I'll follow you down that next rabbit hole.
Oh, okay. Well, we've got World of Illusion to do yet, so.
Yeah, I didn't. I wasn't sure I wanted to start trekking towards Mickey Mouse orgasms.
The true Mickey Mania.
It's just a big orgy.
I must have missed that cartoon.
You got to search real hard on the internet for it.
No, let's not do this again.
Nobody search for that. Actually, no, you can search Mickey Mania. That's fine.
Surely something comes up in the pictures.
Not like Mickey Mania orgasm.
Maybe just don't search on it on Pornhub.
On what?
Pornhub.
What's that?
Oh, come on, Eric.
Is there any male in history who doesn't know what that is?
Okay,
there might be a male listener going, "Ooh, what's that?"
Ooh, they've enlightened
Maybe I'll Google
me.
that instead.
Prepare to have your mind blown, my friend.
Not just your mind.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, back to Castle of Illusion. So yeah, he's on a quest to save Minnie from becoming ugly.
God, Mike, I can't believe you just said that. Continue.
I ruined this show.
Oh God.
So yeah, it's a platformer. Basically, to save Minnie, he has to go through the castle of illusion. And within the castle, there are several doors that Mickey, in between each level, will go through the doors, goes into different areas, and has to basically find some gems. Because there was a little old person outside the castle that said, "Go in, get the gems, and then you can save Minnie from becoming ugly. You don't have to smash out for plastic surgery, even though you work for Disney and you probably make millions." Or something along those lines.
Wait, was Bert outside?
Mickey!
Go get Minnie!
Mickey, go get the fucking rainbow gem.
Never mind getting the gosh darn
I tried to get them, but Maleficent turned me into a fucking old guy. Have you
Mr.
seen
Bell's
my
already done
girlfriend?
it.
Edna's dead because Now go get me a gosh darn cheeseburger, boy.
Oh, God.
I'm done.
So, at the beginning of this game, it's almost video game 101. You go into a forest level.
Collect apples.
And collect apples, which you can throw at people.
Which you can get through most of the game without throwing in a single item.
You can, but
it's
makes
more
it
fun
easier.
to do that butt bounce.
Which is not the easiest thing to do.
You are wrong. It's very easy.
It's really not. I don't know if it was the emulator that I was playing this on, but the controls didn't seem all that responsive.
Right, you mean the totally legit method you used to play on this game?
Yeah, when I say emulator,
yep,
I meant actual cartridge and Genesis with real controller plugged into a CRT.
I thought you did. Just double checking.
Yeah, it's just that short emulator is shorthand for all of that.
I believe that's the French for it.
Yes, it's like an homage.
Emulator.
Of a
Oh, dear. But yeah, the butt bounce. Yeah, strange attack, because you instantly think, oh, I can jump on these enemies. No, you can't.
No, you got to time the jump just perfectly, and sometimes you can time it almost perfectly and still kill them, but also take damage.
No, that never happened.
Yeah, it happened to me.
That doesn't happen.
No.
Oh yeah.
Wait, when were you pressing? To explain, when to attack on this, you can't just jump on enemies. Basically, when you're in the air, you press the jump button again. Mickey takes a sort of sitting pose and basically smacks his ass down onto enemies to kill them.
I'm going to predict this is where Eric went wrong.
I was I was doing the old Mario thing where if you jump again as you hit them, he jumps higher. That's what I was doing.
No, you didn't need to do that.
Oh.
I knew you would do it wrong. I knew.
Eric, all you had to do is any point when you're in the air is press the jump button again to make Mickey take.
Well, that would have made a lot of the bosses a whole lot easier,
right? And then all you do is keep holding the jump button. Then when he hits the enemy, if you're still holding the jump button down, he will then go higher. That is all you needed to do.
Mike, right? When you start a game, do you familiarize yourself with the controls?
Nope.
Usually, yeah.
I just go for it.
Eric, do you not do this? You'd clearly don't do this.
Dan, you played Batman with me. You know how I work.
You don't.
I don't. I just go for it and hope for the best.
Wow.
I got there in the end.
So how long did it take you to complete?
56 minutes.
Even with your shoddy jump technique?
Well, yeah, that's how good I am.
All right, okay, I'm impressed. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Suck it, Dan.
No, thank you.
Okay.
But as I was saying, seems like video game 101. You're in a forest, there's tree enemies, there's mushroom enemies, you've got apples to throw, you can swing on some vines, and you're thinking, all right, video game. There's a tree boss. But then the second level opens up that Toyland, which I always remember as a kid.
Yep, I remember that one.
Remember the toy one.
With
and
the damn jesters on the unicycles that when you throw a marble at him, you're like, all right, cool, I killed him. Oh, dead by a unicycle.
If you shit. If you learned the butt bounce, this wouldn't be a problem.
But I really like the first bit in the toy level where you have to climb all the way up the blocks and then get the key, because you basically you enter the level and the exit is right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go all the way to the top of the level, collect the key, and then suddenly all of the blocks turn into hills, and you have to run all the way down, avoiding enemies. And I always remember that as well.
Collecting diamonds along the way.
I really remember the level in the milk as well, where you go in the milk bottle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I always remember that.
And into the teacup.
Yep, it's so cool.
And avoid the sugar lumps in the coffee.
Yeah. It's so good. It's so good how you can go into those things and just expands the level. The levels on this aren't just one shots; they kind of have parts to them, don't they? So you'll get through one bit and then you'll go to another bit and so on. So each door has more than one section.
Yeah, so in the woods, you have the cutesy wood bit at the beginning, and then suddenly you go into like a stormy night area where all the trees have got no leaves, and there's ghosts and ghost mushrooms and things like that. But the thing about this game as well, there are areas where, I mean, it's technically linear, but because you can't go to different routes, but there's areas where there's several ways you can go, but they're all wrong apart from the right one. So there's that mountain area near the beginning where you have to go into the water and find the correct passage through. And actually, the area you needed to be was about like 3 jumps back.
Yeah, that one stumped me for a while. And if you got all the way to the end, you couldn't go further back because one of the jumps was too long. So you pretty much had to die and restart the level.
No, actually, I disagree with you. You bounce on the enemies.
Well, we see that I wasn't good at that. So I had to die.
The fish jumping out of the water. You can bounce on those.
But see, that's the thing.
I didn't know that, actually. I'll agree with Eric on this one. I thought you had to die, because I did it
Dan,
as well.
do you even video game?
That's video game 101. Mike, you know, when you start a new game, don't you take a minute to familiarize yourself with the controls? God, Eric, you suck.
You do, you're right.
Dear.
At least I knew how to do the butt bounce.
Knowing and executing are two different things.
How quickly did I get through this game? I sent you a message about like 40 minutes after I started.
It's not long.
I remember it being much longer as a kid, but
well, here's the real question though. Dan, you obviously used save states.
I didn't, honestly.
Don't believe you. I think your middle name is Save State.
It's not.
Daniel Save State Curse.
Yeah.
No, I didn't, honestly.
I did. I used Save States mid-boss, too.
Oh, that's always risky.
Nah.
You can get stuck in a loop there.
No. Because then you just die and have full health.
Speaking of the bosses, though, the bosses on this are quite interesting, I think.
I like the bosses on this game.
Brought back a lot of nostalgia for me.
They were pretty varied. I mean, you have the tree boss that was kind of plucked straight from Kirby. But then again, I'm not sure if Kirby came out
you have the
after
weird
this.
Jack-in-the-Box thing.
The stones that you had to... Oh, wait, no, I'm thinking of World of Illusion. Never mind. I'm mixing the two.
No, there is a stone boss where things jump out of the stones and then you have to jump.
Oh, the little gremlins.
Destroyed. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then there's the weird henchman who you have to bounce on his head, and you have to wait until he attacks you before you attack him.
There was the dragon in the milk level.
Oh yeah, that one's tough.
That one I got stuck on. But if you basically stand on the leftmost platform, I went in with only 6 apples, and I think it took 10 hits, and trying to time it for the butt jump.
I was bouncing on him again.
Yeah, I wasn't, and then I had to learn how.
I remember I used to be so conservative with like the apples and everything you could throw when I was a kid. On this one, I was throwing them just everywhere. Like, yeah, fuck it, I'll use that. I don't mind. I'm an expert at video games now.
The only level I really struggled with was the last one, where it introduces the knights that attack you with maces. And there was a few unfair sections where it kind of felt like it was just designed to kill you.
Well, there's a couple of insta-deaths there, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Like these pools of purple gunk. And then there's these things that fall from the ceiling as well.
Yeah, and there's a couple of bottomless pits as well, I think.
One thing I noticed from this game is health is in very low supply throughout the levels.
The health were the star cards, right?
No, that's World of Illusion.
No. You could pick up the little squares that had stars in them.
That's World of Illusion, isn't it?
No, that's this.
No, it's right. I'm sure it's the stars.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, sorry.
Does killing a certain number of enemies also grant you extra health?
I don't think so. I think you can get more points from doing a chain of bounces.
Which points are completely meaningless?
I think you give you extra lives and stuff.
Yeah, I think if you hit a certain amount, they do. I could be wrong. Don't hold me to that.
But at the end of the level, you get 3 scores, I think, like technical and secret areas and like general score and things like that.
That is it. I think a lot of the health is hidden in the secret areas. But I'm surprised at how many of the secret areas I remembered. I sent you guys that video of that area on the mountains with the storms and everything, where I just remembered there was a wall there. When I sent you that video, I filmed it without even checking it was there first. I was like, you know what? I think it's there, and filmed it. And it's amazing the shit you can. It's amazing the shit you can remember. Hello?
Yes, we were waiting for you to finish your thought.
That was it. It's amazing the shit you can remember from being like playing video games as a kid.
I have no recollection of this game because I did not play it as a kid.
Did you not? Then again, you were more Nintendo, weren't you? Like,
yeah. I mean, I had a Genesis, but it was not as well loved.
Dan's mentioned it many times on the show how it was more of a Mega Drive thing over here, and I think everybody really had this game. Like, they gave you a copy of it with a loaf of bread at the shop.
You got Mickey? Oh, here you go. Here's another one. This is my 43rd one this month.
Good sir, I will take some bread, and I will also have the castle of illusion. No, but I absolutely adore this game. It's obviously I've got a lot of nostalgia for it being the first game I ever played, but I think overall it holds up very well, and it's still a very fun platformer.
It still looks good as well.
Yeah, it's got a really nice art style to it. I mean, Eric, you haven't got nostalgia. What do you think?
I mean, I could take it or leave it. I mean, it's cutesy, but I'd played the PS3 remake prior to this, so...
It's funny, it's a remake, but they're almost completely different games, aren't they?
Yeah, it's almost just the same name, and they're like, well, you're Mickey, and you got to save Minnie, and we're kind of in the same location, so we're going to slap the same name on it.
How did you guys find the final boss?
Just memorizing a pattern, and I would always wait for Miserable to go to the bottom center, and then I'd jump on her from there.
So I remember as a kid finding that bit incredibly creepy. The music is quite creepy. Or is that just me?
For sure. No, for sure. Like I remember it being. Well, I remember the castle level being so creepy when I was a kid as well. It's funny how your perceptions of things change.
So, Eric, did you also know that this game has a Dan mode?
I did. It's called Practice Mode.
Yes.
Where you only play 3 levels of the game. You start with 5 health power-ups. And
right, I know you're not going to believe me, right? But I accidentally pressed this mode when I first started playing it. And I was really... Yes, I know, all right. But honest to God, accidentally, I swear 100% it was accident. And I played through 3 levels and it ended. I was like, that was a lot shorter than I remembered.
So, I don't believe you. Because when you click on difficulty, it starts on normal. You have to click 2 more times to get to practice mode.
I don't know how it happened, honestly.
It was an accident, I swear.
It was.
Oh, accidentally press practice.
I thought about not telling you because I knew I would get this shit. But
guys, I beat it in 43 minutes.
No, I played through it again.
Game was shorter than I remember. Move on to the world of
This
illusion.
Is why I shouldn't say things.
It's an illusion that I played it on normal.
Go away.
Look, I'm not the one that played it on practice mode.
Accidentally.
I'm not sure I can buy it.
I accidentally practiced it.
I accidentally pressed the button to change the difficulty twice, and then oops-a-daisy clicked OK, start the game.
I didn't press it, though, and it just somehow did it.
Oh,
I don't know how.
What's even worse is then you have to scroll all the way down to OK.
Well, actually, you just press start, so...
Yeah, see, he knows.
Oops! Oops! Start. Oops! Oh, God, practice mode. Total oops.
Hit my head in the corner again. I'm going to have to hit start.
Does that say practice? Looks like hard mode to me. Start.
I hate you guys so much.
Oh, no wonder you get through so many games.
Yeah, you fly through them on easy mode.
Just watches them on YouTube.
I don't actually own a PlayStation.
Could you imagine if Dan actually has all his games sealed and just watches people play them?
So what you're saying is, it's all an illusion!
Speaking of illusion!
Comes full circle, doesn't it?
Should we talk about the world of illusion?
Can we not talk about I Love Mickey and Donald Fushigi-na Magic Box instead?
Is that a porno?
No, that is what it's called in Japan.
Donald and Mickey's Magic Box.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to show you my magic box.
Hey, Donald, come look at my magic box.
No, it's called I Love Mickey and Donald Fushigi-na Magic Box.
Fushigi-na.
Fushigi-na. Fushigi-na Magic Box.
Which I believe means a whale's vagina.
No, that's
yes,
San
it's
Diego.
I Love Mickey and Donald, a whale's vagina magic box. A magic box is a good name for a vagina, to be fair.
I prefer Meat Wallet.
Axe. I've always been a fan of Axe Wound.
The hatchet wound.
Not this again.
I mean, if you want to be more PG-13, the vertical smile.
The hairy front bottom.
The biff, the butt in front.
The wizard sleeve.
I predict a 1-star review in our future.
Yep.
World of Illusion is also on the Megor Drive. That came out in 92. Or for all you British people, 92.
Thank you.
92.
92. That's all I know about this game. Because I didn't beat it.
What?
Daniel, allow me to regale you with my week. I was out
of illusion.
I've been out of town since Wednesday. I had every intention of playing both of these yesterday, and then decided to watch a movie with Christy, and didn't get to...
Putting your wife before video games.
I know.
You are the worst person ever.
I know. Sorry.
Nothing
I'll take
about
the
what you've
shit-colored
done.
star.
We kind of phased out the shit-coloured star. It doesn't really get referenced anymore.
Yeah.
I think it's because we generally complete more games than you used to.
Yeah. Well, we could dish it out every week when Jess was on.
She just had the collection. This game also stars Donald Duck, which...
It does.
Mike, you told me to play through as Donald because you played through as Mickey.
I did actually end up doing Donald in the end as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's that magic box.
It's a very good impression.
Thanks. I can only do the noise, though. I can't do... You know, like how he has the noise plus like the actual words? I can't do the words. So I can only do like the sound of Donald Duck being angry.
Or enjoying himself immensely.
Exactly.
We'll take it. It's fine.
So anyway, yeah, I kind of tricked Eric a little bit but then realised that actually Eric's just shit.
No, I got past it.
Well, you did. So I remember, right, to kind of explain it first, Mickey and Donald are both in this game. It is a 2-player game as well. But obviously on single player, when you play as Mickey, you play as Donald, you get different levels. And I specifically remember, as a child, there being this specific bit where you ride on leaves in water, and it was a bitch. So I was like, well, I've played as Mickey. I'll get Eric to play as Donald. He'll be fine. He'll sort it out. And then I wake up to a WhatsApp message this morning. That bit where you ride on the leaves could suck a dick. My life is complete.
No, particularly there was one spot. I mean, getting ahead of ourselves. It was because Donald doesn't move all that fast, and there's a spot where you have to jump off of a leaf, run across some blocks that are going to fall, jump up. But if you don't jump up in just the right spot, you hit the water and die.
No, you don't have to land on the things. I jumped over every single one.
No.
You just got to time the jumps right.
No, I'm talking about there's a spot where you transfer from one leaf to another. So the one leaf, you come out on the bottom level, and then you have to jump off that one before it falls off a cliff, and then you have to run across these blocks that are falling, and then jump up onto the leaf above you. Well, if you're not careful and you touch any part of the water while trying to jump onto the other leaf, you die, which is bullshit. And then you jump on that leaf, and you immediately have to jump up and run across a bunch of blocks. But Donald doesn't move as fast as a leaf, so you have to jump and land on the front of the leaf and then immediately jump onto the blocks and then jump again so you can hopefully land on the back of the leaf as it passes.
I mean, the jumping on both of these games feels very floaty. But, like, this is going to contradict itself, but they're really floaty, but at the same time, there's so much weight to them. Like, imagine Sackboy, like, just carrying a load of weights.
Yeah, it's precise. It's easy to predict where you're going to land.
But they don't seem to go very... Do Mickey... I mean, you won't know, Eric, but Dan, did you play both?
I've only played Mickey.
All right, okay. I don't think there's any difference between the two characters, but I'm not sure.
Well, you can kind of do a dash with Donald, but it's the A button and jump is C, so it's not very intuitive to try to dash and then jump.
Yeah, well, I played this on my completely legitimate RetroPie.
Oh, good.
Which is in the UK what we call hooking your Mega Drive up to a CRT and using a cartridge and everything.
The Sega Pi.
Yeah. So I ended up mapping because I was using my 8-bit Do controller, and I mapped jump to B and attack to Y, and then put run onto A, and that made it so much easier. But to be honest, Eric, if you dash and then jump, it doesn't give you much more of a jump anyway.
Oh.
No, it doesn't, does it? It feels kind of like the jump is staggered. It doesn't have momentum behind it.
What does Mickey do for attacks in this one? Because Donald has his cape that he throws out some glitter.
Yeah, they've got the beach towels.
So fancy.
You're Theoletopia.
But this one, I liked kind of the premise of this one. So Mickey and Donald are both magicians, and they're practicing to put on a stage show. And when you first open this up, the sort of opening video is them setting up backstage.
Yeah, they're playing with their magic boxes.
Yeah, and it's presented like a film. Like, you know, that first bit before you kind of get the credits, before you get to the actual title screen, before you get the story. And it ends up saying World of Illusion starring Mickey and Donald, yada yada. But before that, it kind of swoops around. Even for like Mega Drive graphics, it like swoops around kind of like the backstage area. And I thought it was a really nice touch.
What becomes very apparent when you play this, though, is the art style is so different from Castle of Illusion. This looks more like a Disney cartoon than Castle of Illusion does.
I think what I like the most about the art style in this is that they do a lot of foreground covering.
Oh yeah, yes, literally in the first moment, you see a caterpillar and a leaf like right at the front, and it's moving as well. It's animated.
Yeah. And there's parts where you'll be walking in front or you'll be walking behind the foreground, so it just kind of integrates everything quite seamlessly. And I enjoyed this one way more.
It does directly influence, like reference Disney as well, like the level with the playing cards. They're off Alice in Wonderland.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice. It's a good-looking game.
Yeah. So on this one, the story at the beginning, it gives you Mickey and Donald they're practicing their magic, and then suddenly they realise there's a door behind them they've never seen with like a curtain. And Donald goes to investigate, trips over something, and falls down the hole. And then Mickey goes down the hole as well. Oh, and then you get an image of like a wizard in a hood, not in a sleeve.
Oh. Not the wizard sleeve covering the box?
Maybe. And it's a big hooded figure that definitely isn't Pete straight away. Basically tells him they're stuck in his world of illusion, and they have to get out.
Oh.
And as stated before, you've got Mickey, you've got Donald. You can play as one player, where you have different levels, which I can go through sort of the differences in a moment because I noted them down as I played it.
Notes? What is this?
What?
Trickery?
Yeah, when I say notes, notes on my phone, not necessarily written down. Does that give me a little bit of a pass?
So, Dan, you were talking about the artwork and animation having influences from other Disney films.
It was.
Those films would be Snow White, Pinocchio, Fantasia, Sleeping Beauty, The Sword and the Stone, and The Little Mermaid.
You didn't see the Dick Castle, though. I noticed that.
I know. They must have erased it.
Yeah, but this is jumping forward a little. Did you get to the shark boss, Eric?
No, I stopped halfway through the underwater level.
Okay,
because it was like midnight and I was tired.
There's a shark boss on this that reminds me so much. Have you guys ever played the Mega Drive Little Mermaid game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's surprisingly good. If you say someone, go play Little Mermaid,
it's
you're like,
super good. We did it for the show a long time ago. We could probably redo it.
Is it as good as Pinocchio? Because that is excellent as well.
I never played Pinocchio.
It has like a rhythm game in it at some point, and I could never figure it out.
Like the Kingdom Hearts rhythm game?
Oh, I'm not going down the Kingdom Hearts route. It's still a sore subject.
Oh, if I may sidetrack for a second, these Disney platformers on the Mega Drive and the SNES, it was like a golden age of platform. I know Little Mermaid isn't a platform.
Oh yeah, like Aladdin,
but like
Lion
a golden
King.
age of these Disney games on these consoles. If you picked one of them up, you're almost guaranteed a good time.
You pick them up now and they just
excellent.
Suck.
It's a shame they don't do so well nowadays. I mean, Disney could produce a really good platformer nowadays and do maybe like in the style of Cuphead. That would be so good.
Oh yeah, where they go back and do like the Steamboat Willie style.
Yeah, because there's a Steamboat
Steamboat
Willie section in Mickey
2.
Mania. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2 has a Steamboat Willie section.
Have not played that.
Really?
I think I have it though.
Never mentioned it before.
Mike, you were talking to me about the shark boss.
Yeah, this shark boss, the one on Little Mermaid, I don't know if you remember, it was like a giant shark that used to come. It almost, because I think Little Mermaid came out after this. I could be wrong. But they obviously, one of them definitely took inspiration for one another because it's only like a little shark on this one. But it just instantly reminded me of it. You're stuck in like a ship kind of area. And
the Little Mermaid one is the shark coming out of the holes in the wall.
Doesn't it also come sideways across the screen at one point, chomping at you?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like one of them definitely took inspiration from the other. They had to. But going back to what I was saying about the two players, so when you get different levels on the one player, they're usually because Donald can't always access areas that Mickey goes to. So, for example, Donald's got that big ghetto booty. He can't crawl under certain bits. So there's one bit on the Mickey campaign where after the water level, during the water part section, Mickey goes into like this underwater palace and he crawls under these blocks and gets in. Whereas Donald, he can't. So he goes over. He swims up and he ends up on like a beach level instead. But when you're playing as two-player, these areas that Donald can't crawl under, basically your two players, you help yourself. Mickey will drag Donald through, and parts of the bit that Donald couldn't get through will crumble, and parts of the level will crumble, so the levels will alter again because of the crumbling from where Donald pulled through. I didn't play the two-player this time, so I can't tell you how much the levels changed, but I do remember that from when I was younger, because we used to rent this every now and again when I was younger.
Yeah, this is one of the games I never had and used to rent as well.
And there's areas, so like on the first level, there's those wooden seesaws which has the block on one side to get yourself up. On two-player, they don't have a block, so you have to seesaw one character up, and then you press a control to basically drop a rope down to the other person. So you have to help each other that way, and you have to stand on each other's shoulders to get to areas. So really, really good co-op game. This game shines as a co-op game.
I imagine it did. It's a shame we couldn't play it together. So
yeah, the thing I find funny, there's that magic carpet level, and they even on one player, they both still sit where they would be if they were both on it. So Donald's like randomly sat at the back. It looks really awkward.
Oh, okay. I would have thought they would have changed that. But I guess they ran out of time.
Or space on that there cartridge.
Years.
But there are certain levels that change, because obviously I did both campaigns, like I said, and there's certain bits that change just for no reason whatsoever. So, Dan, do you remember the bit with Mickey where you're going over the mountain with the storm and the lightning hits the ground and the little flame guys will come out?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that bit's not on Donald's. That's where you go to the leaf surfing bit that me and Eric were on about before.
Right, okay.
But there's no explanation for it. You basically just end the level the exact same way. And for some reason, Donald's in a completely different area. And there's a few bits like that.
Just to give it a bit of extra playthrough, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, on this one as well, there's that random where you're miniaturizing a study again, which was the same in Castle of Illusion, where you were. It was like you're on like library shelves and stuff like that. And on the Donald one, there was this extra bit where you go into a storybook and you walk along a pop-up book.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
So cool.
And there's on the background. There's all the. Like, they don't move or interact or anything, but it's like you're going through a pop-up castle and there's, like, knights stood there, like, bits of paper that stuck up. Yeah, that is really good. The only downside to that is you miss out on... do you remember that bit on Mickey's where you get onto... There's a giant champagne bottle at the end of the Candyland?
Oh, yes.
And you go through that level riding through the cork, on the cork. Yep. Yeah, you don't get that as Donald, which is a shame. But another interesting bit that's different from Mickey as well on Donald's is after that Alice in Wonderland bit that you were on about, the Mickey goes to a bit where it's auto-scrolling with the mirrors. Do you remember that bit?
Yes.
Donald goes into like this sort of secret garden area, and it's a bit of a maze, and you end up finding these woodpeckers, but instead of having like normal beaks, they've got like saws on the end of their beaks, and they will you use your cape on them. They create a hole in the ground. You go through the hole in the ground, and you'll be in the same area, but it'll be autumn. And then you've got to find the next woodpecker.
Cool.
Find the next woodpecker bit in there, and then go through back to the summer, and then go to different areas and basically make your way through, going back and forth between the summer and the autumn, which was quite cool.
I don't think I've ever played the Donald campaign.
It's as short as the Mickey one, so if you want to go back and do it, it won't take you long.
I could.
But there's you know that Jack in the Box boss we were on about on Castle of Illusion? There's like some mini versions of them. It's not exactly the same. Yeah, you use them to exit certain areas, which is cool.
The Jack in the Box of Illusion.
But yeah, this game, I remember it really shining as a multiplayer.
I used to always see that on the video I had of this with multiplayer as well, and I was like, how do you do that? Because I did play it with someone before. I mean, I don't think we could ever figure it out. Like me and Eric trying to play Batman Forever.
Hey, we were good at that.
We really weren't.
I remember I watched your video of you playing Batman Forever, and I remember definitely getting past where you went, because there's a bit where you're... Do you remember the film where they pull that vault out of the building and it's hanging on the helicopter?
Yes.
The next bit after where you got up to, you're fighting on top of that vault swinging on the helicopter. And I definitely remember getting to that. And I was watching you guys play it. I was like, I still don't have a fucking clue how I got past this bit. Like, it's
the hardest game in the world. I mean, we were too busy crying with mirth to actually get any progress, but...
Well, we tried to replay it again at Aikido, and we were still just as bad.
It was even harder with the joystick.
Yeah.
It took us a good 10 minutes to figure out how to get up to a next ledge. So.
God, you know, I might just sit down and play that one.
That game is a poster child for terrible control design. Press select L and all four of the face buttons to jump.
We weren't much better at Adventures of Batman and Robin either. So
no.
I love that game so much.
But anyway, back to World of Illusion. Dan, you said you rented this a few times.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember always thinking this was better than Castle of Illusion when I was younger. I think that's because obviously I played it less and it seemed more intriguing because I didn't have it all the time.
I think it reminds you more of Disney as well as a kid, and it looks more cutesy and it looks better and things like that. But I think playing them both back to back, I enjoyed Castle more.
What I was going to say was, what was your opinion back then, and what is it now? What was your opinion back then?
Back then, I probably would have. I can't remember, to be honest. I remember Castle of Illusion a lot more fondly in my memories, but because I think I've played it more. But I also played a lot of Mickey Mania, which I liked a lot as well. So
I think we should definitely play that for the show at some point.
Oh, definitely. That's a great one. So I used to get that confused between Castle of Illusion and Mickey Mania because they're similar in concept. There's a similar castle level. But overall, I would say this time definitely Castle of Illusion I liked more. Yeah,
I've swapped back. As a kid, I definitely loved World of Illusion more. But
I can appreciate World of Illusion for what it is. Like it's a short but decent game with good animations, good art style, and things like that. It's probably a lot more fun to play with a friend.
Well, they were generally quite well received, and one of the reviews I found, I didn't read the whole review, but it was just a quote from it. They basically said that it was a passable platformer, single player, but play it with a friend and you'll enjoy it much more. I remember that carpet level being a bitch with a friend though, because I think you can both elevate it.
Oh god. Which one did you like better, Eric?
I liked Castle of Illusion better.
Because you played it.
The hardest part on World of Illusion at first is getting used to the fact you can't jump on enemies at all.
Yeah, you have to use your glitter cape.
Yeah.
So nifty.
Throw some sparkles. You're going to get glitter, and you're going to be fancy.
So are we giving both of these a hearty recommended, my friends?
Yeah, I'd give them a hearty not shit.
Yeah, if you like a good, old school platformer, you're into your Disney, and you want something nice and short, just a little quick play, give it a go. And if you can play World of Illusion with a friend, do it.
Do it.
We got some questions on the old Facebook.
The old Facebook.
We do. What is that Facebook, Eric?
Facebook.com/groups/Factory Sealed Podcast.
Or
that's not a page, is it? That's a group.
It's a group.
You need to go to the group. We've got a page, which is shit, but you should go to the group.
It's still ours, but it's shit. And if you're not on the old Facebox, you can just send us an email at factorysealed@manatank.com. I didn't get a chance to preview these, and we got a lot of stuff on here.
Would you like me to start?
Yeah, I mean, if it's...
I've got it in front of me.
I'm looking at it now, but we should probably dig through to find the questions.
Yeah, I've got one already.
Okay,
which
go
is
ahead.
Dug through because it's a long one. Basically, Zach, I'm not going to read the entire thing, but Zach Fawley has basically said that he always used to get these confused with Mickey Mania and Mickey's Magical Quest. And it reminds him of how Ghouls and Ghosts on the Genesis and Super Ghouls and Ghosts on the SNES are two completely different games. And his question is basically what, he had to explain to people that there were two totally different games and one wasn't part of the other. And what two games do you get sick of explaining to people are different or you remember being different, essentially?
Mega Man.
Mega Man. With the same titles. I mean, the first ones that spring to mind, we've already mentioned Aladdin across the Genesis and the SNES.
Yeah.
They're two very different games.
Adventures of Batman and Robin is very different on SNES and Genesis as well. It's like a side-scrolling shooter on Mega Drive, and on SNES it's a beat-em-up.
Well, that's kind of a trend that has died off, though. If you have the same game on different consoles, nowadays they're identical.
Oh, God, imagine how much it would cost to do that nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Power Rangers, that was one.
The Xbox version comes with loot boxes and the PlayStation doesn't. Power Rangers.
Loot boxes. Yeah, Power Rangers on the SNES was like a side-scrolling beat-em-up, a bit like Streets of Rage. And Power Rangers on the Megadis was a one-on-one fighting game like Street Fighter.
It is. Yes.
I remember
Power Rangers the movie for the Mega Drive. That was great.
Oh, that was good. I enjoyed that.
You could finish it in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, oh, sure you could. Also, Jurassic Park was vastly different between the two as well. Jurassic Park on the Mega Drive was a side-scrolling platformer, and on the SNES, it was like a top-down, like sort of action puzzle kind of thing, if I remember rightly. Shadowrun's completely different between SNES and Mega Drive, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Is he still
not even close to the same.
Say again, Dan?
Is he still a cheesy What's-It in both of them?
Maybe. I mean, there could be hundreds across the Mega Drive and SNES. Like you said, though, that's a thing that just stopped happening, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's on one game, it's ported. It's on one console, it's ported. Different
generation. I wonder why they did that. Was it too hard to do the same game for two different things? Or what?
I think it was licensing issues.
Yeah, as an educated guess, I'd say it's licensing. Different people would develop games for different consoles, but both would have the license to play it, make it for the console. But then there's some where they're almost identical. Take Lion King, for example. There was little differences, but they were pretty much the same game across the SNES and Mega Drive. But I think it creates that... It's funny because you get console rivalry now. You know, people saying, "Oh, Xbox is better, PlayStation is better. We're all miserable. We can't enjoy video games without busting someone else." That sort of thing. But you know, now apart from the exclusives, you know, back on the Mega Drive and SNES, you know, take Power Rangers for example. One was a fighting game, one was a side-scrolling fighting game. There were two completely different things. You could almost objectively say, well, one is better than the other if you prefer a different type of game. And probably the console wars, yeah, it existed. Fair enough, the internet didn't exist, but it's probably less of a degree to what it is now, where people just, "No, that's shit. 1 out of 5 stars."
Yeah, the console war existed on playgrounds, not the internet.
Yeah, exactly. But it probably was. I can't imagine it was as bad.
We used to go outside.
Do you want someone want to take the next one? I've got it in front of me.
I got it. Santos Lopez would like to know, what was Mike's Mexico game haul? Surely he didn't just spend time with his new wife.
I did spend time with my new wife. No, I didn't buy anything while I was out there. I didn't go looking for games, to be honest.
Did you get any horrible sweets?
Yes.
Ooh, did you find Takis?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I did not find any jalapeno ranch ruffles, though.
Yeah, probably
so
not.
I got cheese and sour cream ones instead. They were delicious. But we this is completely off topic, but we took a coach trip into one of the tourists, because we're in an isolated resort in Mexico. And we took a coach trip into Playa del Carmen, which is your typical beachy, touristy, everything's bars and hotels kind of town. And we were wandering down the main street called Fifth Avenue, which was all just shops, you know, people trying to sell your shit, bars, restaurants, all that. And a little map that we'd been given on the coach, we noticed there was a Walmart nearby. And Hazel was desperate to find some Takis. I wanted to find some of those ruffles. And, you know, just see if we can get some... I know it wouldn't be fully like American candy because it was Mexico, but we might find things that were similar. And we took a wander around... Wandered to the Walmart, my first Walmart experience. Man, those places are weird.
Oh, yeah.
So fucking huge. And the things that they sell. Like, all right, I'm going to do my grocery shopping. Might buy a tyre at the same time for my car. Oh, look, there's a moped. I'll take one of those out with me.
Yeah. You've never been to a Costco then, have you?
It's the fucking place in the world.
Have you ever
been glad we did it.
Have you ever been to a Costco?
No.
Oh, shit. You can buy a TV and a kayak and a bed set and like 70 pounds of chicken breasts and a watermelon and then 600 rolls of toilet paper and all your pharmaceuticals.
Fucking hell.
I still haven't got over that department store I went to in Japan which sold toilet seats. It was bizarre.
Yeah, Walmart sells toilet seats.
But does it sell electronic ones?
Well, I'm sure they might.
I'm surprised you don't have one.
I'm saving up to get a bidet.
Oh, God.
We just installed two bidets at my buddy's house.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He went to Japan and he's like, need these. So he bought all the exact same Toto ones.
I just imagine it takes so much time by the time you've washed, by the time you've dried.
Yeah, but the butthole so clean.
I suppose, but as long as you've not got people sniffing around your butthole like a dog.
Yeah.
Next, you'll be hiring someone to come and bleach it every day.
Just trim it.
But no, we're glad we went.
This reminds me, guys, right? On Facebook a while ago, I saw a thing that went viral where it said that some men don't know that you can apparently put down the toilet seat to sit on while you go for a shit.
Oh, yeah.
They were just perching on the edge, lifting both up.
They thought that seat was for girls.
Oh, God.
So some is a slice of the human race who just perch on the edge. And I was like, what?
Unfortunately, this one only goes out to the male listeners, but let us know. Are you a seat or no seat kind of guy?
I feel like there's only one right answer for this.
There is only one right answer for this. It'd be interesting to find out. I wonder if there's anyone listening who goes, holy shit.
Life-changing.
I knew I listened to this show for a reason.
Yes, it's not a toilet seat of illusion. It can be used.
Oh, God.
Are there any other actual questions on the Facebook thing?
Let me see. I'm just quickly reading now.
I think we have to mention, it's not a question, but Miles Prower is very impressive. He's posted some tattoos of his video game tattoos, and he's got like the cover art of World of Illusion on his leg. His arm, sorry.
Oh, I didn't see these.
It's been posted quite recently.
It has. Awesome.
That's impressive stuff.
His Link ones are quite cool as well.
Yeah. Wow.
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 Guys, what are we playing next?
I believe
Yom chose it.
It did.
And that would be...
Jacques and Daxter.
Ooh! Better get
The
cracking on
Precursor
that.
Legacy.
It's a terrible French accent.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, it's a Jack and a Daxter.
That will be in 2 weeks on the 10th, and then we're going to try to do an episode on the 23rd because we don't want to do one on Christmas Eve day.
Also, I volunteered to work Christmas Eve, so...
Yes. So...
Get that dollar, son. But, Eric,
what?
What's happening regarding the straddling competition?
Oh, yeah. So we're going to give y'all 2 more weeks.
Because we'd like Yomus to be here when
we would like Yamas to be here. We would also like some more entries. I feel like people are starting to throw their stuff up there. I think some people forgot about it. If you aren't on Facebook and you still want to participate, Scale Enley is not on Facebook, and he sent his picture to us through email.
What is that email, Eric?
factorysealed@manatank.com.
What the hell is Mana Tank?
Oh, God.
It's a tank of mana.
Yes, that you drink to recharge your lightning bolts. And then we'll include that for entry. Yeah, go ahead and email it to us. We'll give you till next show because then we will all be on as long as Dan doesn't forget how to tell time and Tom wakes up and
I'm not in Mexico.
Mike is not on another honeymoon.
And if you guys want to buy me another honeymoon.
Yeah.
We'll pass.
Oh. Why?
All right, guys.
You're going to say the goodbye of illusion.